All right. It says we're live. I hope everything's out there. Hope I'm not roboting or anything. It's going okay. So, welcome from the crossroads of America. A talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that good stuff down below in the info section. Got that out of the way. Let's see who's arrived in my chat so far. I've got Mystic was first. As everybody knows, when I say Mystic Guns. And Jerry Parker, the gun-loving grandpa. So actually, that's it so far. Very slow start this morning or this afternoon or whatever it is. I know all I know is it's hot outside. It's up near 90 here today.
You've got mail.
So it's summertime in Indiana. What can I say? All right, let me introduce my panel that I have so far. Coming in from the if you just cut off New York City from the beautiful state of New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, out in the country, New York is a nice state to look at.
Definitely.
I've driven through it a few times. Then we got from Ohio, Jason Stewart.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, right now you're it, guys. Us three here in the room so far. Oh,
That's
John
all you
Z
need.
joined us in the chat. So, yeah. Well, I was just reading this morning that I was hoping Patriot was going to be here because the headline was the governor stripped of her powers, her emergency powers. I'm trying to figure out. Last time they tried it, I thought it had to be done by a bill, and she vetoed it. So how did they strip him this time without doing it that way? I don't know. No, that's what I was going to ask him, but he's not here, so I can't.
Yeah, she did something last time and skirted around it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're stripping her of her powers because of the panic that the Democrat Party is trying to put back into the country again. The new variant, and us unvaccinated people are causing the pandemic.
We're killing people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't, as I've said, I don't want it, and I have my reasons. And so I ain't taking it. The only way they're going to get me to take it is by, threatening to stop my Social Security. I think that's about the only way they're going to get me to do it. I was thinking, well, say for argument's sake, I'm just throwing this out there. Just say for argument's sake, Walmart are going to have people on the door, and you got to show your vaccine passport to get in, right? Okay, I'll go somewhere else. But what I'm saying is, if every grocery store in the state of Indiana is you can't go in any grocery store without a passport, well, I'll just call up Walmart and have them bring it out to my car. You know what I'm saying? There's ways around it. I was thinking about this the other day. Oh, John Z said he tried to join in, but his internet sucks. Hey, so does mine. Mine really sucks really bad. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, in my title, I put what did I put? Open topic, because I said, "Don't get me started on the state of the country." Oh dear, it's
You mean Biden saying that we don't need a 9mm pistol?
that's right, with 120 rounds. You know, but he's guarded. His Secret Service use 9mm, don't they?
I'm sure some of them do, probably.
You know, but that's okay. And yeah, I mean, we know that's the ultimate goal is to disarm the population, right? They want us to be like the rest of the world. You know, I mean, did he? I mean, I don't think he meant to say it. I bet you he didn't even realize he said it. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was such a fumbling fool up there. I mean, his medication didn't work this time. You know, so I don't know. It's pretty sad state of affairs is all I'm got to say. I was talking to my cousin last night, and she asked me how I was doing. I said, "Oh, I'm doing great." You know, I said, "Now, you know, I'm moving around. I'm losing a little bit of weight, and I'm going out there." No, she said, "No." She said, "With the, you know, with the prices going up on stuff and stuff like that." I said, "Oh, I'm holding my own right now," but I said, "You know, it's I mean, I said my grocery bill's gone up at least $25-$30 in the last couple of months to what it was, and I'm buying the same items. I don't vary very much at all, you know." And I said, "What scares me though, is I've said it before, is my landlord. I mean, where I live, the amount I pay for this apartment, or it's not an apartment, it's a 2-bedroom ranch style duplex, because there's one joined on to me next door. You can call it, you know, I don't know why I say apartment, just because they're joined. Maybe that's why I say it. But there's nothing here. You know what I'm saying? In the little town of Snellville where I live, there is no. The only thing we have is we have a mill, a hardware store, and a fire station. That's it. So there's no amenities here. So it'd be hard to charge much more than what he's charging now, I would think. You know, but what it comes down to in my reckoning is, but if things start costing him more to operate, like any business, you do not. I mean, if he's making $10,000 a month off all his rentals he has, I'm just throwing a figure out there. He might even make a hell of a lot more than that, I imagine. But say $10,000. Now he's got more expenses. That means he's only going to get $8,000 every month profit, right? He ain't going to do that. He's not going to do that. He'll put his rent up to keep it at 10 grand. You know, businesses don't take less profit. They
pass the cost on.
Yes, that's what
to
I'm saying.
The customer in most cases, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Your scenario, it probably would be a little bit more for the landlord because, you know, taxes, utilities, maintenance. There's a lot of insurance. So, depending on the state laws, what's required. Sometimes you have to have, you know, money stashed away. Obviously, security deposits, things like that. Some places you have to show that you have that, others you don't. So it does add up a little bit for landlords.
Yeah. Echoes Reload Chambers in here. Who else is coming? Patriots in the Dark. He wanted to do a project with my kid, pricing out cedar planks. Damn, you got some money if you're going to be buying those. You're better off going out in the woods and cutting down a cedar and chopping it yourself into planks. MK Joe is here. Squibload is in the chat. Oh, man, everybody's. What was that night? What was that? Nighthawk Medic.
Nighthawk Medic.
Yeah. So everybody's starting to come in. Guns and Barbecue. How come they're all out there in the chat and not here in the room? That's what I want to know. These certain individuals who got. I know I sent them invitations. They must be out working or doing something. That's fine. You know.
I got up from a nap to be here. That's dedication right there.
That is, yeah. Now, Nighthawk Medic says, I refuse to go up on the rent with my residents. They're already paying $1 more for gas, food, up by 10%, and everything else is going that way. That is very nice of you. That's very nice of you. But what are you going to do when the cost of the upkeep of those properties go up? You're going to take the hit? See, very few people will do that, you know? But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, back to my conversation I was having with my cousin. She was asking me this kind of stuff, you know, and I mentioned my idea of going 1 or 2 acres, getting a little homestead. She said, well, that costs money. I said, yeah, and I explained to her. I said, raw land in this part of Indiana, I said, I've researched it, is around $2,000 an acre. I said, acreage that has, you know, like a septic, water, and electric to it is going about $8,000 an acre, thereabouts. So I said, I'm paying $6,000 to $7,000 a year in rent anyway. If not, you know what I'm saying. And so I said, so in 2.5 years, if I got 2 acres, 2.5 years, it's paid off. Then that rent money every month is mine. I don't have to give it to anybody because the land will be mine, you know. But, you know. Oh, Nighthawk Medic says, I'm not hard up, and these people have occupied my stuff for 10 plus years. That's very nice of you, actually. You know, you sometimes you can buy a little loyalty with a little kindness. You're absolutely right there. You're absolutely right. So that's nice of you. It really is. So anyway, who else coming here? Oh, Will and Well Armed, Guns and Barbecue. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Rick?
All right, not bad.
Pretty good. How about you, Rick?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Now I'm just sitting here just babbling on. Nothing special. If you guys got a topic or anything you want to throw out there, just stop me and ask. I said it was open topic today. You know? So, you know, anyway, I was going on about this and we were talking and I was telling her I haven't got any further yet. I found out who the commissioner is on that little bit of land, that Johnson Schoolhouse, as I call it. And because it belongs to the township. And it has a commissioner. The township has a commissioner. I found out who he is. I don't know him, you know, but it's a shame because the commissioner before him was a damn cousin of mine. You know, that would have worked out great. So what I'm thinking of doing is going over to talking to my cousin who was the commissioner and asking him the ins and out of what's going on. Is it feasible what I want to do? Are they willing to sell it or give me a long-term lease on it or whatever, you know? Oh, Squiblo's not in there because we're working. We're not retired sitting on our ass. Yeah, I you know, somebody's got to keep the country going and keep my Social Security coming into me, you know, and it's a nice fat ass I'm sitting on too. So there we go. So how are things down there in Georgia? Well and well armed.
Yeah, things are getting hot, but we've had some good rain every 3 days, so none of the grass is dead yet. So pretty happy with everything. Kids are in the pool, job's going good. No real complaints.
Yeah. Nighthawk Medic says he's got a nice topic. The potential candidate for the head of the ATF states that just because you are not a criminal, that doesn't mean you should be qualified to own a gun. Yeah, he's a total asshole. He really is. I mean, I know, everybody has an affiliation to one party or another, even people who work in the government. But you're meant to keep that out of running a government department. You're meant to try to do it unbiased. And he's so anti-gun that it's free. Think about it. The only reason he was nominated was because of Bloomberg and their Moms for Gun Safety or whatever organization is that he has named that he funds. That was only to please them that he was nominated.
Yeah, he's a real asshole.
Yeah.
Looks like his lips were surgically removed from a dick too.
Oh yeah, he just looks like a dickhead. He really does. Talking about dickheads, I didn't watch it and I didn't read up on it. I didn't look at anything, but I saw. Now I don't know if the meme was rigged, but that rocket who went up in space looked like a dick. The way it was shaped, the guy in charge, from Amazon, his spaceship.
the dildo discovery.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I don't know if that was just a Photoshop meme, but I thought it was funny.
Wasn't there a movie like Spaceballs or The Spy That Shagged Me or some comedy that had a penis-looking spacecraft?
Yeah, I think there was.
Yeah, there's Austin Powers.
Yeah, but anyway, but back to our ATF guy. Yeah, he shouldn't even. With his blatant political views, he should not be head there. But I got a feeling they're going to try. They haven't got the votes for him yet. That's why his name hasn't been brought up by Schumer in the House yet. Because there's, what worries me, what's his name out of West Virginia? He said he didn't say what he wasn't going to vote for him, but he didn't say he was either. So, but put it this way, I'm more worried about what Republicans are going to or vote for him. You got that stupid woman up in Alaska. Now, I'll be honest, Susan Collins from Maine doesn't think he's a good fit for that position, which surprised me out of her. But the one I worry about is you guys from Utah, Mitt Romney. He's so he might have a D after his name. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not necessarily on this. This isn't an anti-Trump thing, so I think he'll vote Republican with that.
You think so?
Yeah, he's mostly a real Democrat dickhead when it comes to Trump. Any Trump matters. Same with Collins and Snow. All three of them are that way, and Cheney.
This Chipman guy's got just a terrible background, man. He's got so much baggage that comes with him. He's clearly on both sides. He is like the worst choice you could have. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
Do you guys
and
really
if he does, they'll get rid of him.
do you guys really think that he was nominated seriously, or do you think it was just a distraction? Because if you think about it, the acting director right now is who they want. She's willing to do whatever. What happened with bump stocks? They went away under Trump, under this lady. All the comment periods are under this lady. She's been the acting director since the Obama administration. Do you think they're really worried about getting rid of her?
I don't know. You know, I
No.
mean, they can keep it just like it is. You know, temporary person in charge.
Exactly. Which I think is all crap, because I think if they haven't been voted on, they should not have full power. And until a person that's put in position to have that full power that was voted on, the acting director should be very, very limited. But, she still gets to run the place like she was voted on. But again, that was never the case. And she does everything that they want anyways. So why would they get rid of her? And you figure the perfect time to roll out these latest comment periods would be when we're saying, hey, we need to be distracted and worry about this Chipman guy. Don't make sure he doesn't get in. He's awful. And, our senators are seeing this. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I've called my senators multiple times. And I keep getting the runaround, which I'm not a fan of Toomey, and I'm not a fan of Bob Casey by any stretch. But I'm letting them know still. But I'm really focused on the comment periods more than Chipman.
Yeah, well, see, I mean, I've done my comment. I've only done it one time for each one of those things or whatever. But I've mentioned this before, and hey, I might be a defeatist, but they're just giving you this comment period because they have to, and their mind's already made up what's going to happen. It's being changed, bottom line. So I mean, you can write in your comments as many times as you like. I don't think it's going to make a difference. I really don't. I know, but
we could say that, but think about all the other times that we've had comment periods, like the M855.
Did it work for bump
ban.
stocks?
What's that?
Did it work for bump stocks?
Did we have a comment period on bump stocks? I don't
did.
remember. All right, so bump stocks didn't work. But the last comment period for pistol braces, we only had 30 days instead of 90 because they were like 30 days. And remember, that was over Christmas and New Year's.
That was pulled. That wasn't pulled because of the comments. That was pulled because of political reasons. They didn't, But what I'm saying is your comment period couldn't have worked because they brought it back up again, haven't they?
Possibly. Or it could have been because we had 80,000 comments come in less than 30 days.
Well,
and
first
again,
of all,
there's the M855 ammo ban that they tried to do back in what? I want to say 2013 or 15, something like that. And we beat that one. So it's not like they just are sitting there going, oh, our mind's made up. We're just doing this as a technicality.
On the first pistol brace, when they did it back in December, they pulled it because everybody was complaining there wasn't enough detail in it. It was too vague. So that's why they split it in half and came out with the firearm redefinition and the pistol brace. So they broke it into two with a lot more detail.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say there's a lot more detail. Both of them are still incredibly vague. For redefinition of a firearm, right now we're looking at they could make 16 different parts of an AR serialized firearm. And to say that's still incredibly vague. With the pistol braces, they're like, you could pass this checklist, but if we feel like you're trying to circumvent the NFA or GCA, we're just going to say it's a short-barreled rifle anyways, and charge you anyways. So both of those are still incredibly vague.
Okay, quick. I haven't looked at it. I haven't gone on the website since the day I done my thing. How many comments they got now?
I do not know off the top of my head.
The firearm redefinition I looked at today, and I think it's 90,000.
Okay.
So we haven't hit 100,000 now. The pistol arm brace is getting more attention, and it's well over 100,000. I can't remember how many it is.
Yeah, but even well over 100,000. How many gun owners in this country?
Yeah, that's what
You
the
know what
problem
I'm
is.
saying?
There's not enough people writing. I mean, we need to have about 300,000 on both of those.
Because if you're not a person on YouTube or maybe, Facebook or anything else that's subscribed to any type of firearms or 2A movement, you probably have no idea, not even a clue about these proposals. You could probably walk in a gun shop right now and have to explain what's going on to almost every single person you see.
Yeah, I've noticed that about gun stores. Some of these gun stores out here, especially out here in the country, have no clue what's going on. I mean, even the guys when I go down the diner, they don't do it every day, but every now and then they'll say anything going on in the 2A world, because they don't.
I was in a huge gun store just last week, and this is the one that has the free FFL. You just go in there and they don't charge you anything to do the paperwork.
Yeah,
and the guy said on the buyer side, a customer said, "Do you have any 22 Wilds?" And he goes, "Our manager told us we're not going to order any because they won't shoot 5.56." And I'm like, "Well, that's stupid. That's completely wrong. It's a tighter bore, but it still works with 5.56 excellently." And he wanted to argue with me. I'm like, "Hey, don't argue with me. You're wrong." And the guy that was trying to buy one, he also said, "Yeah, you're dead wrong."
yeah. So, oh well. I don't know. It's. Oh, we lost Squib. I did see him. I was waiting. I was going to. Oh, there he is. He's back. How you doing, Squib? No. He'll get to us when he's free. You're unmuted, Squib, but we can't hear you.
He disconnected again.
Yeah, here you go. Nighthawk Medic said, I walked into my gun store and used the chart to let the guys know what guns would be SPRs around $15,000 worth of guns. And the next week, they started handing out flyers. Yeah. It's amazing what, unless you got, you keep an eye on this stuff, people, the average person doesn't know what's going on at all. Which is a shame, really. I mean, I noticed today talking about YouTube channels. Oh, what's his name? Jared from Guns and Gadgets this morning put out one. He wants to know what people would really do. Would they, liberty before safety? I think how he put it. He wanted to know how many people would really, like if it was back in days of the Revolutionary War. How many of you are going to go stand up there on the common and to defend something for your life? It's all right sitting here being a keyboard warrior, but how many of you willing to go out there and do it?
You've got mail.
And I think that's why when people say, why aren't we doing something? Why aren't we doing something? That's a big, the way I feel, I'm an old fat guy now. You know what I'm saying? But if it came down to it, I would stand there. I'm only get shot, but because I'm a big target. But but it would take a lot. I mean, it would have to be, and to me, it might be too late because what I'm saying, it would have to be something really bad for me to get up there, and maybe by the time that happens, we're too late to do anything. So that's I don't know. I mean that's for everybody's own conscience, really, whether they're stand up. But we do have a lot of keyboard warriors, walking around, and then you see them all walking around in their gear, which they're entitled to own. Like they're a tier 1 operator. When they go down the range or go to a rally, and that is their right to do that. But if it comes to crunch time, will they be there on the front line? That's what I want to know. I'm saying I would. I honestly saying I would. I mean, at my age, I ain't got nothing to lose, really. You think about it. I live on my own. All my kids are growing up, and got wives, girlfriends. What I'm saying. I'm not part of I'm not really in their everyday life. So there's only me. So, it wouldn't bother. I mean, I could do it. But the people whose family or working or whatever got young kids and stuff like that, that's a big decision to make. And that's why our military, has volunteers, because those people are. Now, I'm afraid a lot of those volunteers are only going into the military because it's a job. They're not doing it for the right reasons, in my opinion. But what the hell do I know?
I think there's no way to know. Talk's cheap, so people can say anything. So until you're actually pressed into a position to make a choice like that, I mean, there's a lot of people that haven't even been in a fist fight. So, and look how many voluntarily join the military. It's not many. So when you look at it, I think numbers would be probably smaller than people think, and I don't think you could trust anybody until they're actually in that position. Even people in some cases that have been in it before will react differently another time around. So it's one of them things you can't say until you see it.
Yeah. Let's call it here in the chat. People made the mistake of thinking that the revolution was all war. 85% of it was fundraising and recruiting. 10% was organization and 5% was war. Most people don't fight. Only 3% of the population will stand up to tyranny. History has proven it. But there we go. How many will and well arms have we got in here? 3 of them.
We're ganging up on the group.
Yeah.
3%.
Yeah.
It kept kicking me off. I had to rejoin on the Wi-Fi and 3 other ways, and it just kept showing more and more of me. Sorry.
That's all right. Squib, are you with us yet? He must be having
Mike's still not working, Squib.
Yeah, he must be having issues with his mic. So, all right. Well, we got rid of one of you. We're just waiting for the other one to drop. Oh, there you go. There's only one of you now. The rest of you dropped out. So, there we go. So, I was sitting here before we went live. I tell you, I got some good friends. I really have friends and whatever. When I was sitting in the diner the other day, yesterday, in fact, one of the guys I hang out with there, he come walking in and slid across the table a box of 223 for me. So there you go. Got something for you. Now, these are what you call it. These are 50 grain tipped varmint rounds. They get a little like poly thing on the very tip of it. I said cop killers. You know. So, hey, I'll shoot them.
Squib, I don't think your mic's working yet.
Who are we talking to?
Squib.
Oh, Squib. Yeah,
He's been unmuted for a while. We never heard anything.
yeah. He's disconnected again. So I don't know. It's got to be their end because I can hear all you guys.
Yeah, so you got some 50 grain varmint tipped?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, 223 is 223. Is the way I'm only using it for target practice. You know what I'm saying? So it'll work. It'll work. But so I got loaded. I got these. A subscriber sent me these clear plastic mags. Now I'm trying to see the names on here. I'm going to give them a try. It's Elite Tactical. Ever heard of them?
Not sure.
It says Elite Tactical. Hang on, Elite Tactical Systems Group. So I thought, they come with the fancy clip on the top too, like the Gen 3 Magpuls. You know, I just loaded the 20 in that. Keep them separate from my other ones, so when I grab them, I know what I'm looking at. So I guess when I go get paid, I got to go get some more 223s down at the Rural King. Hope they still have some. I'll get more in. Yeah, I mean, ammo's starting to trickle in down our way. I bought 3 boxes the other day, as I told everybody, and paid $13 a box. I ain't going to pay much more. I don't put it this way. That's the maximum I'm willing to pay for a box of 223. But how much lower are they going to get? As we were discussing earlier, inflation is upon us, and it's just not on food, right? So the ammo, if a box was $8 before the pandemic, it's not going to be $8 now. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think the actual price for 223 is going to be? I'm not going to say ought to be, but what do you think it's going to end up at?
$15.
You think it's going to go up some more?
Yeah, I think it'd be right around $14, $15, $16.
Damn. That's more than I'm willing to pay.
That's what it is here right now.
Yeah, but what was it before the pandemic? Because I've only got in it since the pandemic.
I'd seen it from $9.99 to $11.99, $12.99.
For 223 or 556?
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, I was seeing about 34 cents a round wheeled.
Yeah, I was getting it $6.99 a box all day long. I mean, good stuff.
Okay. All right.
So I mean, under $8, you could get all you wanted every day of the week. So 30, 35, 40 cents a round. And when you buy bulk, I mean, I was buying 1,000 rounds at 28 cents a round.
Yeah, Nighthawk Medic thinks they're going to be around 75 cents a round. You know?
Yeah, I can get them right now for $12.99 a box. So
yeah, that's what I just paid for some.
Yeah, I mean, so that's like right now. I think they're going to go down to $9.99. I think that'll be the new norm.
Yeah. Oh, see, there you go. Gun loving grandpa saw some for 13 bucks. Yeah, I paid $2. I said 13. They were $12.99. You know, and that was actually 5.56.
And do you watch
223 were $1 more.
Do you watch Marksman TV?
he was recently talking about all the guns that he bought and he put on Gunbroker, and they went under his cost because he didn't have a minimum. And he says gun prices are going down, and he thinks and I assume ammo prices will go down afterward too.
I'm gonna go to my store here after the show this evening. I'm gonna check on prices. Maybe I'll bitch at him a little bit.
Yeah, I know I've heard that gun prices are dropping. You know, if you had a gun that was you wanted to sell at a high price, and you ain't got rid of it yet, I think you missed your mark. You know what I'm saying? So I say gun prices starting to drop.
But as far as the ammo for like a 223, 5.56, honestly, I think it's too soon to say anything until we see what happens with these comment periods. I think that's going to have a huge influence on what the market does.
You think so?
Yeah, if people start saying, "Oh, I'm not going to build this at home because not only do I have to go and buy my lower at the LGS, but now I've got to go get my upper, I got to get my bolt carrier there, and I got to get my lower parts kit there, any crap like that." It might just be a lot of people that say, "I'm not bothering building this," because they've got to go get every part at the LGS in a sense. Likewise, if things just go back to normal where they're like, "Yep, we got enough comments here. We're going to catch a lot of crap if we do this." I think we'll continue to see stuff fall.
Yeah, but I see where you're coming from, and I agree with you. But I'm being the devil advocate here. So you can't build your own AR anymore. So take that money that you were going to spend on your parts and just go buy one already built at the FFL.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
You know what I'm saying?
There's that appeal to people of, hey, I did this by myself, and the government doesn't know. Now, how much of the market that is, I can't say for sure, but I think it's going to affect the market a little bit.
Well, hold on. I built both, and a AR lower is much more work, and I did it with a polymer lower. They had reinforced metal parts, but
oh yeah,
the Glock lower, it honestly, I mean, people act like it's hard. It ain't hard. It's a 45-minute job on your second one. It's about a 2-hour job on your first one, and if you got a rat tail file, it's a 45-minute job. And that's really the only thing you need. That and the drill bit that they supply. The jig comes with it, but I mean, I kind of agree. If gang members are using it now and selling it, then it probably needs to be removed. I mean, if it's that easy to make, it needs to be removed. I know I might get some hate there, but it really is that easy.
I'll go at this one with you, Wield. How many crimes are actually being committed now?
Well, actually, in LA, there are a lot of crimes now being committed in LA, and there must be some guy that figured out, the key, and he's selling to the gangbangers because they're out there now. And there was an article recently in the LA Times about it, and you can go find it. But there is a trend, and it's only in LA, so it's probably one MFer at home that's building them and cranking them out. And, he should be found and sought and arrested, but I don't think the rest of the world should necessarily succumb to that.
So because of the gun crime in LA, that's one person is running around the law and, selling, not even just selling, he's trafficking firearms to probably persons that are already prohibited. We should just say, get rid of these? And just say, should we just do that with all guns because of Chicago?
The philosophical reason of that, I'm just saying it is very easy to make. And you can argue your point of view. I think it's just too easy to make. It's too good. It's a great product. I mean, I love it, but I mean, there should be some kind of on that particular product. It's just too easy to make. Period.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if it's that easy, then to me, I would think gangs wouldn't bother because they won't do all the work. But if it's that easy, then why not?
Let me ask this though: how many shootings and crimes are solved by the serial number on that gun? I mean, it's not like the Columbo TV show every week.
No, it's
down
not.
here. We have
And
thousands of shootings a year and a dozen convictions. So, what good does that serial number do to reduce crime or a gang member having a gun? It doesn't do anything.
Columbo makes it look like that every gun has a ballistics test done on it and it's on record with the FBI. It's not. You know?
Yeah, you still have to place a weapon in the hands of a shooter and place that shooter at that scene. Whether that gun's got a serial number on it, whether it was a P80 Glock or it was bought, that doesn't, I don't see how the serial number changes anything for them. If they have a found gun that's just abandoned or whatever, yeah, I get it. The serial number's helping them out.
Yeah, and
okay, there's a shooting out here.
Yeah,
there's a shooting out here, and you got some shell casings on the ground. How's that going to pin that back to anything? They'd have no direction to go look at.
Well, but see, but it all comes down if you got to have a serial number, that means it's written down somewhere. That means they've got a registry. So they find a bunch of 9 or 223 shells on the ground. We know that it's one of the but they've already got rid of every other caliber. So all they got to look is go through their thing on 223s. And I mean, it might take a while, but they can narrow it down that way. You know? So I'm just playing devil advocate here, by the way, guys. So
they don't care about the P80s and you building one. They want to use that as another stepping stone to get them all.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not completely on the other side. I'm just saying it's very easy to build a P80.
Yeah, I don't think they're just using that as an argument.
Right.
If P80s was like common, like 4 out of every 10 is a P80. You know what I mean? They would have maybe some kind of argument, but it's not. I
would have never built a P80 unless, but I bought a slide for my Glock, and then I had a extra slide laying around, and what do you do with extra slide? You got to do something with it. You can't just throw it away, right? So I built a P80, but cost wise, you're not saving any money. It costs the same amount when you pay for everything. Even if you get everything on sale with a jig, it's still going to cost. Once you buy the parts and you upgrade a couple of parts and you get a barrel and a slide, you're still at the same amount of money. So there's no big savings. It's just customizing a grip that really feels better for me. But a lot of people, I wanted a full length, G17 slide with a G19 grip, and kind of the opposite of a G48. And Glock isn't responsible enough to the market to build that, so the people are building their own, right?
Yeah,
we should have the right. If you have the knowledge and a workbench, you should be able to build your own gun from scratch. The one thing you look at would be safety, right? So if you could build your own gun from scratch with a proven concept where you produce a safe, workable firearm, that's your right. They shouldn't be involved in that in any way. I know the P80s is skirting it right to the very edge of you made it yourself, but still you should have that right. If you was never allowed to tinker with a firearm on your thing, we'd never have any of the guns that we have today.
Yeah,
were they going to call John Browning a gang member, weapons supplier, or whatever, and haul him off to prison just because he tinkered on a workbench and created a pistol?
When he was 13.
Yeah, I mean, so we invent things, so we have workbenches and we do things. That should be none of their business. Now, I do understand if there's like the gangman, if there's one guy, we know you're not supposed to sell a P80 if you build it. If you have somebody who's building a lot of P80s and selling it to gang members, well, then you need to enforce the law that's already on the books about that. Not come up with banning the 380s or the P80s, I mean. Go enforce
maybe
the law.
P80 should be reporting the guy that orders 100 of them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's no problem with them. There's no, you know,
People are spoiling it for the few are spoiling it for the masses is what's happening.
I mean, we're talking about probably one guy in LA that spoiled it for the masses, but you know, that article came out, and you know, you got to read it. There's some truth to it, right?
Well, see, they tip their hat at this all the time. It's not the P80. Look how they're going after the parts in individual parts. They want it to where you just can't get no parts for your gun. Plain and simple. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And if you can't get no parts for it, sooner or later it'll quit working, and there'll be one less gun for them to worry about. That's their end to look at it. Or, you know, you'll have to send it back to the manufacturers. I'm sure manufacturers will probably support them, you know, and that surely suck for us consumers if every time your gun needed a recoil spring or something, you got to send it back to the factory. I'm sure the factory would love it, but that would be terrible for us.
Yeah. Are you with us yet, Squib? Are you sorted out your mic issues?
It's GunTube.
You think so?
Yep, he muted himself, so he's at least out there. He's touching it.
Yeah. It could be GunTube. I don't know. I don't know. I just use it because I'm trying to support him. That's all. You know. It's you know.
I had it go out on me today on Travis's chat. All I did was bump the wire, the USB wire for the camera, and it shut off my microphone, my camera, everything.
Yeah, I know. I was listening and I saw.
It's like once you've bumped it and you try to plug it back up, gun chamber won't recognize it.
Oh, Squib in the chat says it's on my end. How's it on my end?
His end, he means, maybe.
No, Squib goes, it's on your end, Rick. He typed in the internal chat. So he's in here. He just can't
Well, the other 4 people disagree with him.
you know. So let me have a look see. I don't
look at Squib's picture and the 3 dots at the top.
yeah.
Make sure like his volume level's turned up.
Oh shit, what happened there? Okay, it's all the way on. I'll go back to that. No. No, everything seems okay here on my end, but it could be.
Hey, Squib, whatever you're on, like Squib Load or whatever, can you come back in as like Squib Lift and see if it works?
It must be GunTube, because if it was me, I wouldn't be able to hear all the other guys, would I?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
So the little green box that says AUD next to the blue box that says live came on. So whatever button you pushed allows me to talk.
Oh.
I see that, but I've never touched it. Which one did you touch, just for my information?
Who, me?
No, Squib. I see the live and just now. I never noticed it before.
I didn't touch anything. Rick did. Rick turned something on.
Well, no, all I did was I went to the 3 dots in the corner, and at the very bottom, it has the volume. It's all the way full blast. All I done was turned it off, moved the thing all the way to 0, then moved it all the way back. That's all I did.
Then that's all that it takes then, because you must have had me muted the whole time then. Told you it was on your end.
That's plain old fashioned censorship, man.
That's gun tubes, and that's not me. If it's showing your volume at maximum, and I put it down to 0, then put it back to maximum, now it's working. That's got to be a gun tube issue.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, we got you. Squib.
All right, Squib.
Good to hear you.
Bring us all your knowledge that you've been building up for the last 30 minutes.
Well, he said in the have you read the chat, the internal chat there, Will and Well Armed?
Hey, if I go there, I'll get disconnected again. I'm not going there.
Okay. Well, what he says also, he's going, it's on your end, Rick. It is Rick, not me or GunTube. Also, F.U. Willed.
Okay.
You're up to date.
I mean, really, you want to report somebody who buys 100 lowers because he's arming the Bloods and the Crips? Seriously?
I mean, I don't know. I've got an issue with somebody buying 100 lowers. I mean, you could buy 15 lowers, maybe, but
why don't we limit the number of rounds you can buy at the store, or the number of hamburgers you can buy at the drive-thru, or whatever it is? We're a capitalist country. Doing that sort of thing is not. It's not the American way. It doesn't matter whether I buy 1 or I buy 100. I might buy 100 because I'm really not good at machining stuff. And as easy as you say they are to make, I bet you I'll burn through 5, 6, or 10 of these before I get one right.
Okay. Well, there is a trafficking off a thing. There is a ghost buyer thing. So you're wrong on that issue.
I can go down to the gun store and buy as many guns as I want.
You go to the gun store and buy more than 5 guns, you're going to be reported as a potential.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've bought more than 5 guns at once, and nobody's ever knocked on my door.
I know it doesn't, but you do it on a habitual basis, and you will be reported.
I'm on the list. I don't care. I'm
you
already
do it more than 5 times. More than a few times, you will be on the list as a potential.
We're all on a list. So what?
No, there's a different list of a guy that's buying 5 per day versus one that's buying one-off 5.
Mind you, if you buy more than 5 in one day, I think you can only put 5 weapons on one 4473 too. There's a limit to how many can ride a 4473.
I mean, there's collectors that buy a whole collection and buy 45 guns in a day. It happens.
Yeah, there's another paper you fill out, right? Over 5. There's a separate paper you fill out.
Yeah, no, it's just an addendum, and you can buy more than 5 guns in a day. It's possible.
I didn't say you couldn't. I just said you have to
buy whatever you have the money to buy.
But,
in a sense,
when you're buying
somebody's intent, and that's hard to prove. Maybe they just like them, collect them.
When you're buying, it's a big difference when you're buying different variant shotguns from a collection, and each one of them, has an $8,000 to $10,000 value, and each one of them is completely unique and different, versus a guy that's buying 40 Glocks in one day. There's a big difference. That's one sends a red flag, the other one doesn't.
Okay, let's get something straight. There isn't somebody going to a gun store, buying 100 guns, and then turning around and driving down to the ghetto and selling them to the gangs. That is something
you're wrong. You are completely wrong. There are right now arrests and people in Kentucky that went to Kentucky that were in the military in Kentucky, I'm assuming at Fort Knox, and then those guns were immediately sold in Chicago for $1,500. I don't know what Glock it was, but they said there was only a 30% markup. I don't know what gun it was, but I read the article. There was a whole big ATF sting where they arrested this and they traced all these military salespeople from buying Glocks. Yeah, there are gang members in the military that continue to be gang members in the military. And no matter where they're stationed, they're still gang members and they're buying. They got sisters and brothers and wives and daughters that are buying additional guns and funneling them to Chicago. It's happening. So, yeah.
Okay, so what Will is saying is we need to get rid of gun shows because of the loophole, and we all should be limited how many guns we should buy, and these background checks and 4473s, they work, and we're all criminals just waiting to happen. I mean, you realize that what you're saying quantifies all of the lies that they tell about all of us in this panel. None of us in this panel are those people, but you're quantifying their lie about us.
I'm talking about people in the military right now that are being arrested for buying multiple guns in Chicago, in Kentucky, and taking them to Chicago somehow and sell them in Chicago. You can take it however you want. Read the article. Don't throw the hate at me.
The gangs are always going to get their hands on their guns.
So
Bad guys are always going to have a gun.
It's just a straw purchase. It happens.
To make, and you're implying that if somebody buys too many guns, they're obviously a dealer, or you're implying that 80% lowers should be regulated, or some things like that. I don't even care for 80% lowers or any of that stuff, but I don't see why you or I or anybody else who's not a criminal should be automatically labeled a criminal because of the actions of a few. I'm not saying that straw purchases don't happen. There's a lot of felons that have their girlfriends go out and buy a gun for them. It happens all the time. But that's more common than somebody buying a gun in another state and then trafficking it to Chicago. They've got so many stolen guns that enter Chicago legally. Legally, they enter Chicago and are stolen within the city limits. It's happened before. You want to read some articles, read about the rail cars full of guns that have been stolen. You steal 2 rail cars full of guns, you can supply those gangbangers for years with weapons. And they're not interested in AR-15s. I'm not saying that they don't have some long guns, but they're really not interested in those. They're interested in handguns they can conceal. And sure, you could take an 80% and turn it into an AR pistol. An AR pistol is not as concealable as, say, a small Glock. So when you're talking about these polymer 80s, for a handgun frame, maybe you've got some validity. But I thought we were talking about these 80% lowers that people are milling. And you're right, it is a waste of money. If you're looking at doing it to save money, you're not going to save any money. You can customize it or you can do it as a hobby. And a lot of people do it. Let's just be frank. Let's be honest. A lot of people do these do-it-yourself kits to build these guns with no serial number because they're afraid that the ATF is going to track them, trace them. They're going to be on a list. If they have this thing and it has no serial number and they never violate the law by never selling it, or if you do sell it, you have to serialize it first, okay, then where's the harm? But if the government keeps behaving the way is that they're building a backdoor registry, and one day they're going to come confiscate your gun, then you're giving the citizen their reason for wanting to do this. The government doesn't want people making guns, but the government does everything to push people, to make people afraid so they make their own guns. Honestly, there was no chance that there was a backdoor registry being formed. I really don't think that these non-serialized homemade guns would be as common. Another thing, too, is you guys are talking about the comment period on the pistol braces. The reason the pistol brace comment period isn't going to work is because nobody gives a flying fuck about pistol braces. You can say, well, there's 10 million pistol braces out there. Yeah, how many people own 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 AR pistols? One person owns a bunch of them. Not a whole lot of people have, not as many people have these. You can take the numbers, but if you look at how many each person who has one owns, there aren't people that they're doing.
Well, you're wrong there. There's a lot more comments on the pistol brace than there are on the redefinition of firearms, which affect a lot greater number. I grant you that, but why are people redefining the comments on a redefinition of a firearm? That's the question.
I heard you guys talking about the pistol brace thing, in between me trying to fight because GunTube sucks. All right. My thing is nobody gives a crap about pistol braces because not everybody has an AR pistol, not just or a rifle caliber pistol or whatever you want to call it, right? It's just not as common as something. And people are on YouTube begging other people to do their comments for them, and other people just aren't. They're like, I don't care about this thing.
Well, I think they're 3-to-1 comments. I think they're 200,000+ on the pistol brace and almost 90,000 on the redefinition of firearms.
The last email I read from GOA said it was like 30 or 40,000 comments, and they were so desperate. And a bunch of people on YouTube, different short videos, begging people, please make your comment. People don't care. It's some people don't know, but some people don't care. I'm not saying they shouldn't care. They should care. It should matter. But what I'm saying is people aren't looking at this from a certain point of view where when they sound desperate, once again, they're giving ammunition to the opposition, saying, look at them. They're so desperate. It's just, I think the community or the culture could do better.
Yeah. Another thing too, when you talk about the amount of guns in this country, right? There's less gun owners than what people think there is. I mean, I've only been doing it for 5 years, and I think I'm up to 11 firearms. I'm just one person. Look at old Watson. I don't know how many he's got now. He's got his new room that he does his show in. Tank Yankee Marshall. He must have over 100 firearms. You know what I'm saying? So there's not. I mean, they claim there's 400 million firearms in this country now. Well, we got 100, maybe 100. Would you say? I don't know. How many gun owners do you reckon there is?
I'd say there's probably 100 million gun owners.
Yeah, I mean that. I was thinking, around 98 to 100
it's
million.
The same thing as the pistol brace thing. The people who own guns with pistol braces own multiple guns with pistol braces. That skews the number, and it makes it look like there's 80 million pistol brace owners when there's really a million or something like that. It's the same thing. You're absolutely right, Rick. There are people who have one gun, and there are people who have 150 guns.
Yeah.
And if you skew the data, you can make it look like all of America's arms when it's really half of America. And it's unfortunate. I don't think it's right for somebody to put the burden on other people to fight for their rights, but it's a free country. It happens. We're out there all fighting, and we're all doing different things, and we all put different priorities on stuff, and we all agree or disagree or do whatever. We're doing more than most. Doing this show alone, just bringing these things to the forefront and talking about them or arguing about them is doing more than just sitting on the couch eating Cheetos. But I see some desperation in our culture that is really, I think it's showing our hand as weak, and I don't want to show a weak hand.
Yeah, I agree with you. Oh, gun loving grandpa says anybody who's bought a gun is on a list somewhere, and I agree. Even if it's only on a list at the FFL you bought that gun at, because he's got to keep that 4473 for 20 years, I believe. So, your name's somewhere. Yeah. Also, I mean, I think I mentioned it last week. I mean, I when I went to work for the government back in 1982, they took my fingerprints. So the government has known who I am since 1982. More not even before that, but what I'm saying officially since 1982. So I don't know why people get so bent up out of shape that they're afraid the government's going to know who they are. They already know who you are.
Look, I think it's important for us to make this stuff, put it out there for the people who aren't going to look for it or the people who don't know how to look for it. And what's funny is in these videos, when you go into the description section, you see the link. They link you to DOA or they link you to somebody else's YouTube channel or something. They never link you right to the ATF website. I put a link to the ATF website in my video. Okay, how hard is it if you can't even find the ATF website and you're doing a video going, please save my toy? then how do you expect somebody else to go do it? Because you're sending them a link to a link to a link. Do a little bit more work. Show that you're doing your due diligence. Show how important this is. If you half-ass it, what do you expect somebody else to do? Do the work for you? That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
It's better in our culture.
Yeah, you agree? I agree. Anyway, moving on. I got a question for you guys. My buddy down the diner, who I go shooting at, gave me a 2 or 3. What are they called now? Hang on, where's my piece of paper? For my AR-15, because I'm getting where the brass is being kicked out. It's developed a little scratch where the brass is hitting there, and it's called a brass deflector. It's a little thing that you stick on the AR. Little tiny thing. Are they any good? Should I put it on there?
No.
You already have a brass deflector. Oh, it's because you're left-handed. Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah. But
you're shooting right-handed, right?
no, I'm shooting left-handed. Why should that make a difference?
But it just burns your wrist.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is where the brass
There's a brass deflector built into the upper receiver, but it's for right-handers only.
Yeah, basically, if it kicks out above 3 o'clock, it's overgassed. If it kicks out at 3 o'clock, it's perfectly gassed. If it kicks out lower than 3 o'clock, like 4 or 5 o'clock, it's undergassed. So your gas block isn't properly adjusted, or you don't have the right gas block or hole for your gas block. So that's all they're talking about.
But why is the brass scratching my where it comes out of the firearm? Once I pull the trigger, it goes bang. The brass is ejected.
It's supposed to hit that
Right
gas.
there in the corner. If you're looking at it, it would be on the left-hand corner.
Think of it
Tiny
like
scratch, and the brass
the
is
door, the little thing behind your door that keeps the door from hitting your wall. It's that same service. It's just keeping your gun from being beaten itself. So you either have a brass deflector built in or you don't. It's just like you can have a door without a door stop. It's going to beat the hell out of your drywall, but people live with it. It doesn't matter. You get one or you don't. No one cares.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just curious. Anyway, I got one of them marker pens,
Oh, hey,
and I just touched it and it disappeared.
yeah, I was muted, but I was telling you, just let it get scratched. It's going to get scratched. That's kind of how this works. The brass is actually hitting it and bouncing off of it and flips it a different direction. So it's going to get scratched every time, all the time. Just let it get scratched. It'll be okay.
I like them to stay looking new.
Yeah, with AR, it's acceptable.
Oh, okay. All right.
If it really bothers you, you can get you can buy these little stick-on felt pads that like you put on your cabinet doors or something to keep them from banging when you shut them.
Yeah, well, I think that's
Get
that's
one of
what
those little circles and stick it on there.
that's what this little thing is. It's like a little
Felt pad thing.
type thing. Yeah, bit stiffer than felt, but it's got that feel to it.
Yeah, but it's going to get scratched. I mean, the shell's hitting it. It's sticking there, so the shell hits it. It's going to get scratched. It's no big deal.
Oh, okay. All right.
The only time you ever look at that is if it's brand new. Yeah, because that's the only time it's not going to be scratched.
Yeah, you don't want no scratches on it before you
Well,
take it
it's
out.
not really scratch. Just brass is a softer metal, and it's like a coloring crown. It just puts a little bit of gold on that little deflector.
Yeah, on that phosphate type finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I said I cleaned it, and I mean it's very, very small. It's just I know that, and I got one. I got one of them black pens, and I just dabbed it with the tip of the black pen, and it's disappeared. So I'm happy. But I was asking about them because he gave those to me. He said try put one of those on there. So that's why I was asking you guys.
Just take your rifle and throw it down on the gravel and pick it back up. It'll be scratched all over, and then problem solved. You don't have to ever worry about
what's your name? James Yeager? Yeah. I ain't throwing my gun down on the ground.
Why don't you get one of them Anderson RF-85s?
What?
Got that RF-85 coating. Maybe it'll be more resistant to your brass marks.
I don't know. I was just asking. You guys know I'm new to ARs. I've resisted them for 4.5 years.
What if you put Rain-X or something on it? It'd clean up easier.
Putting that red dot on that quad rail.
I mean, be honest with you, I've I don't know. I still don't like the looks of an AR-15. That's the only thing that stopped me from buying one. But I mean, I love shooting it. Because I mean, it doesn't hurt my shoulder or anything. But I did notice they're goddamn loud though. They're louder than a regular rifle.
Well, yeah. You ain't got earplugs?
Of course I wear ear protection when I'm firing.
But they're not as loud as an AK.
I don't know. Never shot an AK.
Oh, I thought you started an AK and you were branching to an AR.
No, I've never had an AK.
Okay.
No. But I tell you what,
they're louder than a pistol.
What I did notice, because we were sitting, mind you, I had hearing protection on. It's not an expensive set, but I got the electronic ear muff type things, and they work really good. And it muffles it a lot. And I was sitting inside a garage. I'm just saying it's a loud gun. But I was sitting in the garage shooting out his big door, and there's a tree that leans over to give some shade. And every time you fired, what's the word for it? The gas or concussion coming out of the front. He's kept blowing the brains up and shit. I'm thinking, damn.
Rick, if you want to quiet it down and do it affordably and not have to have an NFA item, just get a 300 blackout upper. There, 300 blackout. It's a bigger diameter bullet, and it might seem like it'd be more powerful, but it's actually quieter, and not because of the whole "it's designed for suppressors" bullshit. It's just when somebody told me it's gonna have less kick and a little bit less noise, I wasn't sure until I shot one myself, and I'm like, oh yeah, this actually works.
Oh, okay, all right. But overall, I mean, it's grown. I mean, I've been shooting it a lot, but it's growing on me. But I'm, I don't know. It just, I mean, to me, a rifle is wood.
You can put wood furniture on it.
Yeah, I know. I looked into that. It's not cheap.
I think you can get it for less than 100, 150 bucks.
It ain't real wood then.
Real wood.
Nah.
I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell you this, I don't like wood ARs. I think that's weird.
Yeah,
but you're not shooting but 100 rounds at a time. I don't think it'd make any difference.
Well, Patriot says, what's it going to do? What do you expect from eating salads? But talking about salads, yeah, is Rob Stew in here? Is he hiding behind my chat window here? Yes, he is. This might be a coincidence, right? But remember Wednesday, I said I was having salad after the show for dinner. I had my salad. I woke up Thursday morning, and it's only just starting to go now. I had an arthritis flare up. I was hurting Thursday and Friday in my joints. And the only thing I can put it down to was I ate a salad on Wednesday night. It might have been coincidence. That's all I'm saying, So.
Got some aspartame in your salad dressing or something there, buddy.
Yeah, getting no response out of Rob there.
Yeah, Rob's canoeing or something on the river.
Yeah.
Spray painting down by the river.
All the junk from the meal the day before.
I can eat Twinkies and hurt from head to toe, man. Every joint in my whole body will hurt.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was joking there, but I did. I had a little. It wasn't a major flare up, but my joints Thursday and Friday hurt. Like today. It's not. It's almost gone now. This happens to me a few times a year. It just flare up. So. But I thought it would be a good excuse to blame it on the salad, since that's what I ate. Wouldn't be any of the other crap I ate down at the diner, in the morning.
Yeah, nice try, Rick.
Yeah. What did I have Wednesday down
All that toasted cheese.
No, what did I have down at the diner Wednesday? What did I have? Oh, I had a BLT Wednesday morning. When I say I didn't eat till around 10:15 in the morning. So that was like a brunch for me. I had a BLT with some fries. So
I have 2 gas station Toronados every day for breakfast and a cup of coffee.
I had a BLT with fries and an iced tea. Big giant glass of iced tea. Unsweetened. Sometimes I'll put the artificial sweetener in it, but it doesn't taste the same as sweet tea. So a lot of times I'll drink it without anything in it, So, yeah. And let's say that my BLT and fries and a big giant glass of iced tea, $7. What the hell is that? So what's time?
That's Wield. He never mutes his mic. I don't think he realizes that the whole time all we hear is bumping and rubbing and grinding and banging and clanging and.
Oh, you hear the vibration?
Dude, the whole time you're on any of the shows, all we hear, it sounds like somebody took a boom mic and just rubs it against something or banging it against something. Because whatever you're working on, it just, we can't really tell what it is, but it's just like that. Do you ever listen on playback?
I'm muted. Okay.
No. Do you ever listen to a show on playback?
No, but I will.
Yeah, then you'll find that one of the first times I was on a live show, I had a wireless mic, one of them headsets, right? And I went and opened up an ammo can. I was talking and working at the same time. And they muted me. It was back when we had Hangouts so you could mute each other. And they muted me. And they're like, dude, that is just way too loud. And I went back and listened to it on playback. And oh my goodness, it was deafening. But to me, it just sounded like opening an ammo can. So it's just like when you're doing a video and somebody 12 feet behind you is picked up by your camera's mic, but you're standing right in front of the camera and it doesn't pick you up as loud. It's the same crap.
Oh,
well taken. I'll do better.
Yeah. Oh, John C. said tomatoes can cause arthritis flare-ups. There was tomatoes in my salad, so it goes back to my salad. See? So I was right.
I just keep blaming Rob for it.
Yeah. So anyway, by God, it's almost 4:30 already, guys.
Hey, instead of putting a tomato in your salad, put in some dried cherries.
Michigan dried cherries.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So there was something else I was going to mention besides that. I said I got my 223s. I got that. I don't know. I can't remember what I was talking about. Anyway. Oh, why I got you all here and Patriot. The actual quiz answer is not until next week. Because I'm waiting. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go this year because it's down in Houston, Texas, the NRA show. Right? But I'm hoping the regulars go and when they pick up swag for themselves, they'll pick up a bunch of swag for me, like Clover and Ghost Tactical and all them guys, before I can go back to doing weekly quizzes. So, but I tell you what I do have. They came in the mail the other day. I got some patches, my own patches again, that I'll be putting into the swag packs for everybody. Not patches, stickers. I got stickers. I ain't got patches. I got stickers. One day when I become big, I might get some patches. But right now, stickers is all you're going to get. So, and actually, they came from a subscriber, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But anyway, the quiz. This is for next Saturday, which is what, the 31st? Yeah, by noon time, Eastern time zone, the only time zone that matters. Where's my question? All right, my question is, I want to know the date and the year of the last U.S. Cavalry versus Indian battle. Now, if you want to go woke on me and call them First Nation or indigenous people or Native American, go for it. I'm just calling it the way I'm reading it here. So I want to know the date of the last U.S. Cavalry versus Indian battle. So email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get it into me by noon next Saturday, and you'll be in for the swag pack drawing. There you go. No. Anything else, guys? What else do we want to talk about? Because I said it was a open topic, so go for it. We talked about Wednesday. We're talking about eye relief and stuff, but I've been looking into it. I'm thinking either go for I've been doing some research. I wonder, putting a scope on the AR, or should I just get a magnifier for it? But I was looking, some of those magnifiers aren't cheap. So I don't know. Put it this way. I'm not trying to shoot an inch target at 1,000 yards. So I don't need no scope that costs more than my goddamn rifle. I don't even need a scope that costs half of what I pay for that rifle. I just need a budget scope. Because, all I do is go out to the range and shoot 100 yards max.
Somebody out there in the audience, send Rick one of their old scopes that they don't use anymore.
Hey, you know what? I think a lot of guys have reviewed a cheap scope, like a Fiachi or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've seen some used on AR-15s, and the reviews like them.
I've been watching YouTube's reviews on budget sight scopes for under $200, and I've been even watching them for under $100.
Yeah, I'd say this one's under $100.
Yeah.
Rick, I might have a fixed 4 power that I could send you.
So. You don't have to. I wasn't saying all that asking for one. I'm just saying that I don't need an I'm not going to buy myself an expensive one, so I was looking for a budget.
Oh, come on. Don't give us that. We heard you e-begging. You disguised it well, but we got the picture.
I e-begged for him.
Yeah, you did.
I've been I've been meaning to put a scope on one of my rifles, and I've been thinking about it more lately. I looked for some scope mounts the other day. I got a Marlin lever action I want to put a scope on, and I was looking around for what scopes I could get for it, and I actually have one right now. I have an old Tasco. Now, it probably wasn't very expensive, when it was new, but it's an old one. It was made in Japan, and it's set up for 30-30. I'm just going to get the mounts and mount that, and I'm going to rock it and see how it goes, man.
I don't
Heck
blame
yeah.
you.
It'll probably work fine.
Yeah, it looks good. I look outside with it and zoom in at trees and birds and stuff, and I'm like, might as well give it a shot.
You might as well. I mean, didn't they used to make what you call it for science? You look at through the thing, and you're looking at the dead bugs and shit. That brand, I remember those.
Microscope.
People give Tasco crap, but oh, sorry, Rob.
I'd say I'll just be quick. I was gonna say I don't know if the scope's gonna be ideal for you, Rick, because eye relief and whatnot. You're already having trouble in cocking your head and position, and you're gonna be more limited on where your face needs to be oriented, your eye to the scope. So it could work, might be more of an issue for you. So and in the end, it's gonna bring you like slower target acquisition if it's like for your household around your house. Not so much for fun on the range for sure. The scope would be all right, but that's where switching over with a magnifier kind of still keeps you in both realms, but you don't have to worry so much about the eye relief of keeping your eye in that sweet spot of a scope. So
Yeah.
just my opinion, just to throw out there. And I could be wrong. It might line up perfect for you, but it's something you're probably
because a magnifier you can flip in and out of the way. I noticed that too. On most of the ones I looked at, they move. You can flip them. Over or flip them out of the way to look.
Yeah, those flippers are costly though.
Well, hey, Squib's already been doing the e-bagging for me. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I'm new to scopes. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna rock out Tasco and see what's up.
I don't blame
I'd
it.
rather try do that than go spending a bunch of money on just getting started. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be looking at 100 yards or less, 30-30. It's man, you can hit 100 yards or less without a scope. So I figured just rock it and see what happens. I'm more concerned
Jason,
about getting some decent mounts than I am so much the scope at the moment.
That's what I was thinking of.
As far as Tasco scopes go, Jason, I mean, I don't know how many I've seen on 30-30s around here. Everybody and their mother has that for a deer hunting rifle, and everybody and their mother would buy the cheapest scope they could find, which for the longest time was Tasco. A lot of days you'll hear people give them crap now, and if it's something that people want to shoot long range and you're going to be dialing windage and elevation and all that, yeah, you probably don't want to get the Tasco. But if it's something that you're just putting on your hunting rifle, sighting in at 100 yards or something, and it's just going to stay there, they are terrific. There's some that you'll get some poor glass quality stuff like that. So it's kind of, if you're going shopping for one, try and look at a couple different ones, find the one that has the clearest glass. That's going to be the biggest issue you have. But like you said, you've already got it. And if it's fine, I bet you it's going to hold zero just fine. I don't know how many I've shot that, I mean, the one on my mom's hunting rifle, 30-30 Marlin, actually, I bet you that scope is 30 years old. It's a Tasco, and it still holds zero.
I've been using this scope like a spotting scope. I've been using it just to check targets downrange. But now I have a spotting scope, so I figured I'd use it. And I got a Marlin 336 that was made in 2001. So it's a decent Marlin, at least made by FN and not the Remington lately thing. But it's a good rifle. It's nice. I like to put a scope on it, man. I just got to find a decent mount set up for it.
Well,
and I just use the scope I got instead of. I was looking at like everybody suggesting like Nikons and Leopolds and all this, and I just don't really want to go spend $350, on a scope. I just don't want to. It's, if I had a nice rifle, I wouldn't have no problem spending $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 on a scope. But just for a little 30-30, because I can't hunt with it here because it's bottleneck cartridge. But just to have a 30-30 with something easier to hit a target at 100 yards is all I'm looking at. So I'll just try that Tasco and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, what's called it? Defense Dad says check out Monstrum for good budget scope and their mounts. So there you go. See, two things. I was thinking about that with the scope was try to get an offset mount maybe, or the magnifier. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm working on this, but here's another thing for you guys. Right? Many, many years ago, when DVDs came out, players, they'd cost you hundreds of dollars in the store. Now you can go Walmart and pick up a DVD for $20 because technology has got better. So just because the scope is a budget scope doesn't mean the glass is not good in there. Because technology has got better and better. I mean, you can buy a pair of glasses if you got bad eyes and you need glasses, you can buy a pair of glasses dirt cheap now because of technology. They've gone from glass to using plastic now. You know what I'm saying? And all this. So paying thousands of dollars for a scope just to shoot on an AR to me is ridiculous.
It's more than the glass, though, in some cases. So glass is a biggie, but durability, what it's made out of.
Well, I'm not a scope snob.
Yeah, well, there's just depending on your level, there's more than glass to be concerned with.
Rick, if you're
like you mentioned before, if you're going long range, you start getting into the tracking, things like that. That's so if you're adjusting for elevation and windage and whatnot, when you go to return to zero, you want that scope to be dead on. And there's a lot of scopes that will say the tracking's 100%, and you'll do the math after you went and returned it to the supposed zero, and you might be hitting an inch and a half high at 100 yards now. Well, that's not 100% zero. And then that's going to affect you the next time that you go and adjust for, say 1,000 yards, and it keeps getting off and off. So those higher end scopes, there's a reason that they are those prices. But if it's something where 100 yards, 200 yards, and you're not worrying about adjusting all the time, no sense.
Yeah, Rick, if you're just target shooting for fun, then it's not a big deal. When you're setting out in the woods, freezing your ass off, waiting on some stupid deer to cross your path, and you've only got so many vacation days you can burn, you're going to pay for a better optic because you may only get one shot. So it's a matter of how you're using it, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also what I was looking at too, and I think I said this Wednesday, right? If I happen to use it for self-defense, if I'm doing a scope and at 100, even at 50 yards, and I'm getting all my bullets within a 2-inch circle, right? I'm hitting, and that circle's in the center mass on the target. If I'm shooting at somebody who's trying to hit me, that person is going to go down. I don't have to get every bullet in the same hole. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, you figure you're shooting 4 MOA at that point.
Do what?
So how quick are you going to get on target, though? I mean, if you add a scope, your time's going to slow down, in my opinion, to actually get on target. So, because of your sight condition, I mean, you're going to have to make sure you're in that sweet spot, your grip's good before, it just seems, I don't know, like it
here's
might
another
take you longer to get that shot. You'll be accurate, but it just.
I tell you, you are my personal Debbie Downer, aren't you? Anything I say.
There's a reason people use certain items for certain jobs. That's all I'm saying. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So there's factors to that. It's not saying the other way is bad or something. There's just a different tool for a different job.
All right.
Well, and to add to the Debbie Downer thing, if it's for self-defense, you're not going to want to scope anyways, because if you're claiming self-defense at 50 or 100 yards, you're going to be hard pressed to prove that. When you're
Well,
talking
I'm
about
disabled, and
7
I
yards or
thought he was.
closer, say you're not going to be
I'm
able to.
disabled, and I thought he was coming to kill me.
Oh yeah, you very well could say that, and I mean, everybody harps about, oh, training this, training that. You got to know all these things. At the end of the day, if I feel like my life's in danger, I feel like my life's in danger. And if that's not enough to exonerate me, well, it's not enough to exonerate me. But the thing is, if I felt like my life was in danger, guess what? I'm alive at the end of the day still. And if I'm behind bars, well, that sucks, but I'm still alive. But yeah, when you're talking 7 yards or less on average, that scope's going to just be filled. You're not going to be able to tell where you're actually aiming.
That's
But then
why.
again, you're going to hit them. So
That's why I mentioned maybe go to that magnifier because of the red dot. You know what I'm saying? So,
yep.
I don't know. Anyway, Gun Loving Grandpa says check out Ghost Tactical. He is doing a series on budget scopes. There we go. Defense Dad says he's talking about Vortex 2 7x32 on his Marlin 336. Has the right eye relief and it clears the rear iron sight for only $129. So there you go.
It's the right one for him, but will it work for you and with your condition, with your head cocked ways, looking through the lower half, trying to see through? That's
for me.
The issue. What's going to work for you?
Yeah.
And do you want this to be a range gun or do you want it to be a defensive gun?
It's a range gun as far as I'm concerned.
If it's a range gun,
put it this way: if I'm in bed and I hear somebody busting through my door, my thought is not going for an AR-15. My thought is picking up my 380 that's laying on my nightstand next to my eyeglasses. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was busting through my door, so home defense, I would be using a handgun. Personally, myself. Because I've said this before. I have on my bedside table stand, whatever you want to call it, is where I keep my. It used to be my 45. Now it's my 380. It sits on top of a Bible that I have sitting there, and my glasses are there. So I grab my glasses, grab my gun, and off I go. And I doubt if I have to pull the trigger, because if they see me running around the corner in the hallway naked, that's going to, you know what I'm saying? That will stop any robbery, I think.
At least give them.
That would shock them, give me time.
Yeah, give you an advantage, give you time.
Yeah, because they're going to look and go, oh my God, and that gives me time to aim at them, So. Anyway, I'm going to wind this up, guys. It's 4:45. So there we go. So I got a scope on my my 22 lever action that I'm going to use for squirrel hunting. I can once I get it in position, I'm damn accurate with that damn thing. So, I was hitting those little round 2-inch 22 targets. I was knocking them over at about 75 yards. I thought it was pretty good, actually. So, all right. Where was I going? Oh, yeah. So, what was I going to look at? Yeah. So, I don't know if Sunday, August the 15th, I believe, is the start of the squirrel season here in Indiana. So, My cousin always goes out on the first day of squirrel season. And I told him once I got my hip done, I'll be going with him this year. So that's what I'm working towards. I might not go again for the rest of the season, but I'll go the first day. So, yeah. Trying to get into this country life. I ain't had squirrel in years, but I'd eat them.
Squirrel gravy.
You know, I mean, I've eaten squirrel when I was younger, but I haven't had any in years. But I see nothing wrong with eating squirrel. You can make all kinds of good shit with squirrels. You know. So, hey, by the time you got it skinned, you ain't gonna know it's a rat or a squirrel anyway. So. All right, let's wind this up. Does anybody else got any other thing that they want to talk about? Guess not. All right. New York Outcast. Any shout outs or plugs?
No, just have a great day, everybody.
Appreciate you stopping by, Rob. Jason.
Yeah, good show. Thanks for the invite. Good to talk with everybody. And it is a beautiful day. I'm going to go out and try to enjoy a little bit of it. Everybody have a good evening.
Yeah. Defense dad, Rick, if you're only going 50 yards with your AR, did you consider a red dot on a 45 offset mount? Well, I have a red dot on. As you can see, it's sitting behind me here. It's hard to see the red dot because of the way I got it set up on there.
Damn gun tube. He done kicked him out of his own show.
Did I lose everybody?
Don't screen share. It's detrimental to the stream.
Well,
You're
okay.
back.
I don't think I'm I think New York Outcast is now the modifier or whatever you call it, the moderator. But that's okay. We're about over anyway. What I'm saying is my RNL display back there. It's I don't know why he left for. Now Jason's the moderator. You don't have to leave, you know, because I'm just about winding it up anyway. So I got Rob, I got Jason. Squib, you got anything?
No, just thanks for the opportunity to come on the show while I'm doing a little work around the house. I'm down here in the utility room working, and you know, the show, despite its technical diddlies, kind of helped me just focus on what I was doing. Kind of took my mind off of how aggravating it was, and just got through it. So appreciate that, and always a good opportunity to bring this stuff up. If we're not talking about it, then nothing's happening with it. But, you know, if we're talking about different things with regard to the Second Amendment, even when we don't agree, I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely. I agree too. Yeah. Oh, where I was going before I lost my connection and all that shit was Defense Dad said the red dot with an offset mount. Maybe that might work because I got the red dot already. You know. So.
Yeah, the offset mount is pretty expensive. I mean, there's only a limited people that make them, to my knowledge, but I think more and more will make them.
Now, I haven't looked for an offset mount for a red dot. I saw one. I've seen an offset mount for a scope, and it was $69.
I saw Lucas makes one for $140 or something like that at T-Rex Arms. I thought that would cost prohibitive, so I didn't bring that up.
Yeah, I'll look for something good. No, but I think a magnifier on there might do the trick. I really do. But anyway, so we got Squib. All right, Will and Well Armed, you got any shout-outs or plugs?
No, thank you for having me. Follow anybody out here, and we appreciate anybody for watching us to have anything to say. So thanks very much, and make sure you're 2A committed and comments on some of those ATF boards. We need more and more comments. I think we need to get at least over 100,000 on both categories. Really need to get up to 300,000. So just comments, all I got to say.
Okay. All right. Billy Bob, the most 2A person on the internet. Any shout outs or plugs?
No, I can't really think of anything. Just to make sure to go check out everybody on the panel. Everybody's got something interesting going on their channels. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. I appreciate everybody that joined me today on the panel. I really appreciate it. The show went by really fast. And to everybody in the chat, depends. I'm talking 45 offset, not a cantilever amount. Yeah, I know what you mean. It was yours talking about sitting over that. Instead of being straight over it, it'd be off to the one side. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's something to I'll look into it, see how much I can get one for. I'm a cheap bastard. Anyway, thanks to everybody on the chat for stopping by on your Saturday afternoon. I really do appreciate it. You taking the time to listen to me waffle on about what's going on in Rick's life as I see it. I really do appreciate it. And I will be back on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. with Rick's Life as I See It, Shooting with Disabilities. We have a bad habit of going off topic there too, but I do try to start with something. But if you got anything you want to talk about on the Shooting with Disabilities, just email me your questions or whatever, and we can use that. Or is there anything you want to talk about here on the general chat on Saturdays, email me about there too. So I want to appreciate you all stopping by. I really do appreciate it. So I want to say thank you again, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. So good afternoon, good evening, everybody.
Put it on Squib's card.